Hi friends! This is your daily video. Today I'm going to be talking about Anthony Kennedy. He is currently one of our Supreme Court justices who supports women's rights and some other such things like that. And he's retiring because he's super old. Or maybe, they were threats against his life. Who knows why? He's retiring, and that means that Donald Trump is going to be able to appoint a new person to replace him, and people are freaking out about that. Totally understandable. I don't think that he should be making decisions about anything, much less, who gets to be a Supreme Court justice for the rest of their lives. But anyway, that's what's happening, and that's what's happening. So I'm seeing a lot of responses on Facebook of people saying things like, oh, get ready, it's going to be the Handmaid's Tale, let's just get ready for it, put your bonnets on. People saying things like, this is not my America. Democracy is dead. I don't have a reason to respect the flag. Fuck all of this. Not my America, whatever. People say things like we're going backwards, like, oh, we're just going back to, the 1950s or whatever. And all my response is just like, what is this we business? Like, who is this? A we, oh, you're going to just go ahead and accept, this shit. Like, that is not my response. Of course, I'm in the same boat as anybody else. I've suffered with depression my entire life, since I was a teenager, and had words to explain that. So I've definitely dealt with the utter despair that you think that you can never get out of. I have definitely woken up some mornings and thought, just like, what is the point? Like, no matter what I do, this isn't getting any better. These people aren't going away. And that is a horrible position to be in. So I have compassion for anybody who is feeling that way. And I'm going to give some pieces of advice that come from real experience, that come from a knowing place. Like, I know what that feels like. And I know that when other people have tried to give me advice when I was depressed, it's the worst. It's like, I don't want to hear it. Sometimes, I feel like when you are in a depressed situation, it's like you don't want help, or you can't even see a way out. And sometimes you really are just like wallowing, and it's so hard to get out of that. So I understand if some people are going to hear this and be like, oh, fuck you, white girl, that's bullshit. But I'm hoping that some people will hear this and maybe gain a different perspective. Because first of all, things aren't going to get better unless you want them to get better, and unless you're going to try and do something to make it better. So first of all, when you are fighting an abstract problem, it is almost impossible to see the solution, because you're fighting something that's imaginary, or that you can't really see and touch and feel. So, for example, fighting the patriarchy or fighting white supremacy, hell, like the war on drugs. These are abstract things that, so even if you are making progress, it's hard to say like, oh, the battle is over. So it can be hard to see that even when we are doing better, when we are making progress, it's hard to feel like we're getting anywhere. And that's a problem. So one of the ways that I have worked really hard to battle depression, or to feel like I am, making progress in my life, is to recognize that you cannot change the world overnight, and you can't do it by yourself. But what you can do, you can make an impact in your family, in your immediate surroundings, in your community. You can make a difference. You can make a difference that you can see, that you can see the changes from. So, with these two big issues that are going on right now, we can't change what Supreme Court justice is gonna get appointed. It's probably gonna be some terrible old white man. But luckily, eventually all those people are gonna die. Old people die. Old ideas die every day, and we have that to look forward to. Even nobody gets to be in charge for forever. So there's there's a time limit on Donald Trump's presidency, and that's great. That's great. It's not going to last forever. But so we can't really do a whole lot about that. But what we can do is we can pay attention to our local elections. We can figure out who is running in our city, in our state, and we can participate in that. And if you are in a position where you're ready, you can take the initiative and actually run for office locally. So, people are always so consumed with who's running for president. And from what I see, the president is just just a poster boy anyway. They are not pulling the strings. Donald Trump does not run our country. Barack Obama did not run our country single-handedly. That's just not how it works. Your congressmen and apparently a lot of wealthy companies and people like that are really pulling a lot of strings. But locally, there are real ways for you to make a difference in your community and in your state if you will take an active role in participating in elections. So I can't sit around, if I realize there's nothing that I can do about, this guy stepping down. You can be sad about it, and I understand that. But if it is causing you turmoil, you have to step away. You got to step away from that situation and think about what you can actually do, which is to vote in local elections. So there's that issue, and then there is still the issue of children being separated from their families at our border. And I could make another video about that separately. I think it is terrorism. It is inhumane to separate children from their parents. I don't care what the situation is. That action that we are committing against people is horrible, and it is wrong. And I don't know how to actively help or change that. I don't know. So I don't want to ignore that situation, but I know that there are children in my community who are not having their needs met. That there are immigrant families in my community who need help, and there are organizations that I know that I can connect with that can actually help people in my community. So I'm not saying that, it's too far away, or, I'm just going to forget about that. All I'm saying is that it is a very, very big problem, and I can't fix it by myself. And so, but I need to recognize that there are similar situations like this going on right here in Lexington, right here in Kentucky, or wherever that you may live, that there are things that you can do to help children and families in your community. Kentucky Refugee Ministries, Greenhouse 17, The Nest, I know that there are so many other groups, and if you are part of an organization or you want to suggest an organization to connect to, please comment or share that. And I feel really distressed about what's happening, and so I feel like we need to see this as a prompt. If nothing else comes out of it, like this, this administration is absolutely horrible. But it is waking people up to all of these issues that are really important. That's like, hey, we already had these problems locally, and maybe we weren't paying attention to it. So how can I get more involved to help fix some of these problems at home? Because even though we can't take on these giant abstract problems all at once, we can make a similar effort to fix things within our community, and that will make a change, and that will help. So if you are in a pit of despair, if you are like freaking out and losing your mind, try to instead take incremental steps that will help make a difference in your home and in your community. And if you are like really super depressed right there at the end, just sitting on Facebook or social media or watching TV is not going to help you. And sometimes it's just like taking a step just to to clean your room or clean your house or take a shower. Like, just start there, of trying to make things better little by little, taking small steps towards fixing things or making it better. And I'm going to keep talking about issues like that and what we can do. But I think that so much of what is happening online, of people getting so upset and then saying things like, "This is not my America," I'm like, just take a step back, like whoa, about what is making you feel that way or say things like that. Donald Trump is not America. Even the government, that's not America. America, to me, and when I think about what does it mean to be an American, is what is written on the Statue of Liberty, which is a manifesto proclaiming that all people from every nation who need a safe refuge, that they are welcome here. Now, I understand that that's not what's happening at our border, that those are people who have made those choices to, our government or the Border Patrol, whatever, have made those choices to not follow that American manifesto. So I just feel like what they're doing is un-American. But I know that the real meaning of being an American is that we have open arms for anybody who is ready to come here and to try and work hard to make their lives better, to make this great cooperative country better. So things have fallen off. We've fallen off. Some people have fallen off that track, but I'm not going to fall off of that, and I'm not going to let these messages that I see on TV, I'm not going to let that define who I am, and I'm not going to let that define my country. I feel like this is a blip in time, and this too shall pass. Like, it's not going to last forever. I feel like this is, the death of the beast, that this filthy alt-right Nazi animal is just like, having its last breath, that it's just like kicking and screaming, but it's going to be over. It's not going to last. Like, it is Pride Month, people. It is Pride Month, and I'm going to be proud of myself and proud of my city, and I want to encourage people, to be proud and to express themselves, express their full truth, because that's what it means to be an American. And I'm trying to focus on that. July 4th is right around the corner. That's my mother's birthday, July 4th. And I want to focus on, being happy. I want to try my damnedest to be happy, because I've spent a lot of years, I've spent a lot of time being depressed, extremely depressed, thinking like, what is the point? And if when other people are suffering, when I know that there are people in our country who've been separated from their families, or who are experiencing discrimination on a daily basis. That hurts. Like I suffer from that, or when people are suffering in that way. But I think about it like, the oxygen mask on the airplane. Like if other people's suffering is making me feel terrible, then how am I going to be in a position to help them? If instead, like, I have to put my oxygen mask on first before I can help other people. I have to know that I'm taking care of myself. I have to raise my vibrations. I have to be, in a positive place in order to make a difference for other people. So I'm working hard on trying to meditate and practice yoga daily, because I know that helps to maintain the strength in my body. And I'm gonna, say things that maybe other people are afraid to say, or maybe other people are thinking. I want to help people get back to a positive state of mind, so that we're not all running around crazy or thinking that, killing yourself is a good answer. Like that's not a positive answer. That means the other side has won. So choosing happiness is not easy. Years ago, somebody told me, like, you can choose to be happy. And I thought that message was bullshit. I was like, oh yeah, just be happy. That sounds so easy. Well, it's not easy. Choosing happiness, especially right now, especially in this climate, it is not easy. It is so, so hard. But if, the battle is in your mind, in the world of technology, in the world of social media, the battle is in your mind about how you feel, about how you think. There's all kinds of articles and statistics showing that our behavior is being modified through social media. They're saying that the election was swung through social media. And I think that all of those things are true and possible, and we need to be aware of that. We need to be aware of, how are my emotions being affected by what I'm reading or what I'm seeing online? If it's making you crazy, maybe you need to take a step away from it and take a moment to realize the beauty that is around you, that's in your home, that's in your community, and focus on how you can make those things better around you, because you have control over that. Yeah. Take responsibility for your own life, for your own happiness. And I will be talking more and more about that, about how to love yourself and be happy, in this climate. In Oakland, when that white lady was calling the police on the black folks who were having their barbecue, and their response was to just have a bigger barbecue. That was awesome. That's not doing nothing. That was responding with radical happiness, because what's like the biggest, fuck you that you can throw to somebody is to just be like, I don't care about what you're going to say or try to do. I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to be kind anyways. I'm going to continue to live my life with happiness and love. And it's not easy. And that's not doing nothing. So I'm going to try more and more to explain that better or more eloquently day by day. But yeah, that's the message. Love yourself, love your community. How can you make a difference in the close world around you? Because I promise you, it is going to make a difference in the long run, and that's how we're going to make America great again. Can I say that? Does that sound weird? Take the message back, y'all. Don't let somebody tell you what it is. This is my America. Thank you for watching.